Funny, I updated my scanners here. I found it's funny how you just change things over time and find different things useful. And it's like one of my watch lists here. Let me pop it out here and I'll show you. I found it really useful, surprisingly useful. Like on this watch list, I've just got a column where it shows me if it's green or red on the day, and I just want it for the color. So I just minimized it. I can't even read what it says in there. It doesn't matter. I just want the color. But then I can quickly sort of eyeball my lists and see, well, what's red, what's green. And this morning it was like there's only 3 things that were red across all my lists. It was Netflix, work here was red, and Zoom. Like everything else I think I was looking at was green. So, but I find that, like, the only things I really look at on my
SRNE,
list.
Sorrento Therapeutics, June, $18 call sweep now. Sandy Romeo November Echo, SRNE.
The only things I look at are the, basically whether it's green or red, the RVOL, and then the last price. So it's a good little snapshot. Everything else I like to get from the charts or other sources. So anyway.
Yeah.
ACB is bounced off of VWAP, went down back below 17. That ad for Thor didn't work out. I guess he would have got stopped out a long time ago.
SPY's breaking above that 296.
Oh yeah, look at that. Microsoft's pushing up here too. Now, Brian said he was going to try and join us here this afternoon, but I know he's traveling, so we'll see if he's able to make that work. Yeah, look at that. Snapchat has sent me a nice Happy Victoria Day message.
AMD did a nice, decent size move. It's starting to break out. Still in that choppy range, though, on the 15-minute. If you look at the 15, it's just up and down all day within this.
What?
Between
Look at that.
54.80 to about 54.40.
My daughter, I gotta say, like I'm totally impressed. You guys are here. I'll share with you here. She ordered yeast like a month ago. She finally got yeast, so now she's making donuts. I'm trying to get the reflection.
Yummy.
There. So she's made, like, look at all the different types of donuts that she's made. Oh, and that's her boyfriend eating the donuts. But anyways, but she's cooking up a storm. She never cooked before, quarantine. She didn't cook at all.
I would say that I'm the same way. Me and my wife started noticing how much more we started cooking now.
Oh, yeah.
And just being creative with dishes. Before it used to be steak, carne asada, grilled fish. If we wanted something elaborate, go out to eat. But now it's,
We haven't got creative. I mean, I'm pretty much working all day as I, here trading and stuff, and then all the work I have to do around it. And my wife works all day, so it's pretty much business as usual, I suppose, in our household. Gotta convince my son to do some more cooking. He's not earning his keep, man.
We've noticed that our recycling, because it comes every 2 weeks, that by the time they've come to pick it up, it's overflowing. Like we can't even shut the lid anymore with all the plastics. So like, wow, we really do eat more here now.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what happens, right? Because you're eating at home more, and especially if you're being more creative, there's more things that, as long as it's not all like pizza boxes or.
No, not pizza boxes. And saving lots of money too. which was a surprise.
Oh,
OCN, Aquin
that's-
Financial, Oscar Charlie November, getting a pop here to the highs, 70 cents. OCN.
So, Mario, it's optimism about the possibility of a vaccine.
BHC, Bausch Health shares spiking here, $17.41, up 10.5% now for BHC, Bravo Hotel Charlie.
Microsoft, it's back up. Should have taken it long. JD looks like it still wants to head up here.
I know. I should have taken it. This is gonna be one of those days that you look back and you say,
Well,
what could have been.
Yeah, I just call up JD on the chart. It still looks like it's going up, but even if you just look at the level 2 here, like you were pointing out, look at how it's all stacked here, right? 55.40,
Yeah.
there's size here that's being consumed right now, and then 55.50, you've got 20,000 shares sitting there. 55.55, you got another 10 grand there. I mean, it's good that there's like a constant, 59, you've got some, 76, you've got some, like they're just, it's stacked every 10 cents. So that's usually a very good sign for it to go up. Whoa.
And under the B, 22.
Hey, Brian.
Calling B22, B22. It's B for Brian, 22. Why 22,
B
Brian?
for Brian. Ah,
Does B go up to
better
22?
than 21.
Anybody know their bingo? I don't know.
I don't think. Well, maybe not.
I don't even know.
I don't
Welcome,
know.
Brian. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay here.
Good. I've got a
Hanging
space
in there.
I've got a space for you if you wanted to join us by camera, but no,
Sure.
no pressure.
Okay.
Your beautiful visage is always welcome.
Okay. Well, we're starting to. I'm trying to start my camera here. Oh, wait a second. Oh, yeah, it should work. Actually, maybe not. Let's see if it works. We're getting the spinning top thing right now.
Spinning beach
Quite-
ball?
Yeah, spinning beach ball. Quite the day. Oh, yes. So I see the miners are down today.
It's been a strange day, like you were talking at the pre-market, and Mike, you mentioned it just a few minutes ago. It's been sort of an industry-based
PTON,
day.
Peloton, January
Let me-
75
sorry. I
call
gotta mute
sweep.
Benzinga. Just muting Benzinga, guys, here. It's been an industry-based day, right?
Yeah.
Because industry stocks have sort of all moved together, it looks like. And as Mike said, not a lot was sort of moving independently as an individual stock. Like all the airlines, all the cruise lines sort of went in one direction. Tech went in another. The cannabis, right? Pot growers have been going on their own in their direction as well. But yeah, not... been odd.
Yeah, thanks, Hans. When you're 95, you really can't hope for much,
It's just
unfortunately.
True.
But he's hanging in there.
guess that. Hey, by the way, everybody in YouTube, if you're enjoying being with us here, don't forget to hit the like button. I always forget to do the promo. I'm supposed to promo the whole. Oh, I look frozen here. Mike's still okay. Why am I frozen? There we go.
Yeah. My good. You are
Yeah.
frozen on my
Yeah, you're frozen. My camera. I don't know what's going on. My software is acting weird today. I was giving everybody a double thumbs up, and you didn't get to see it in the camera because my camera's all frozen for whatever reason.
I'm just looking to see why I can't. I'm running the chat room on a different computer. It's an old. It's an old work MacBook, and I don't see a camera on this thing. Maybe that's why it's not working. It's funny. There's a little hole there that looks like there'd be a camera.
Yeah, most Macs have a camera.
There's a hole there where a camera should be.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe it's what's his name? Who's over in Russia? He's watching me.
Are you talking about Eamon or Boris?
Not the week.
Or not Boris.
No, the WikiLeaks.
The WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks guy.
Oh, what the heck was his name? Yeah,
what's his name?
Snowden. Him?
Snowden.
No, well, yeah. Well, Snowden was the U.S. guy. The WikiLeaks guy was. Oh God, I can't think of his name. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Snowden. Assange?
Well, Snowden was the Yeah, Assange. That's
Petrov
it.
Assange? Okay.
Yeah, Snowden was the guy that kind of ratted out on saying that they were doing a lot of more observation of the public than people maybe were aware of.
I'm shocked.
So I'm kind of disappointed at this TBT I got shaken out of, and now it's back up again. It's kind of a drag.
JD didn't get much higher, Mike, so far. 55.40.
No.
It's interesting. It looked. I mean, it's still.
I
People
think
aren't pulling
they
their
can
orders.
clear that 55.40. Because right here is kind of where it's been in a range.
Wow, the market and Microsoft and Apple are all taking a punt down.
Yeah.
Got some news. Let's
JD
see
will
here.
probably follow suit, but I'll be kicking myself for that one along with WFC today. That's all right.
Yeah, you mentioned that. So you were still following the banks, eh? Wells Fargo? What is WFC? Wow, it's
Yeah, Wells Fargo.
it's just a
So I got into WFC at what time did I get in at that? Where is it? Got in at 10:50. That's where I got in.
50.
And then I
Oh, at VWAP, I see.
Yep. And then because I kind of adjusted how I was taking my first partial this weekend after looking over my journal, because I didn't really like the results I was having over the past couple of weeks. I put in a limit order. I had it before my entry got filled. I had it all set up in the montage. So once I got filled, I could just press it and the order would go in. Little did I know that when you get filled, it reverts your shares to your full share size. So when I entered the limit order, which I thought was only a partial of my shares, it was the actual full size. So I missed that whole move.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole move.
That's
But
that's too bad.
it
So I
happened.
guess you're not. So Peter, you're not getting my my image, I guess, eh? My camera.
I don't see it. No.
Funny, there's a little, there's a little green light on, but it doesn't start. There you go. Okay. Well, I either switch to one computer completely, and then I won't be able to watch my stocks as we're talking, or
Oh, that's all right.
I stayed with this.
I don't want you to mess up your camera. Let me just refresh the room
this.
here. Yeah,
Wow,
still,
this CRE.
still no camera.
That CRNE was a real dud today.
SRNE? Yeah.
SRNE, sorry. It just rolled over and played dead all day. Square, I'm surprised. There must have been some news on Square. Because it's down a lot.
Boy, I got to be really careful to keep my face neutral here. My camera keeps freezing, and I look like I'm making a horse face. That's not good at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Greg. I mean, yeah. Everybody's letting any employee that can work from home. Yeah. So I don't know how that's any different than any other company.
Chris, behave out there. I said a horse face.
Horse face.
Not what he said.
A gift
That's
horse
right.
face. There you go.
Check my teeth, see how old I am.
Yeah.
JD's actually now looking a little weak here. Yeah. What do we got? We got 10 minutes.
SPY's kind of coming down. You'd use the high of the day for a stop if you wanted to try to take it into the close momentum down, but it's tough, especially with all those orders stacked.
Yeah, with those orders not moving, I'd be nervous about doing that.
Yeah.
Boy, AMD's been a real chop fest all day.
Yeah. I was glad I kept away from that.
Yeah.
I don't know why this keeps freezing.
So we got 10 minutes going into the close here. So what do we have coming up after the close? We've got Baidu.
Yep. Baidu, I think Billy's on there too. Is Billy on there?
IQ, Billy is on there. Oh, I almost said Apple, but it's not. There's a ticker APLE, which is Apple Hospitality, but that's not
Hospitality.
That's there's a psych out, eh? I think you're trading Apple. You're trading something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
all I really see.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad. I think you're right. I think commodities are certainly the commodities were all up. Today.
Tomorrow morning. Oh, sorry, Brent. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, XLE was made a nice move today too, which is the energy, big energy sector ETF, ConocoPhillips, Exxon.
I expect tomorrow morning to be interesting in that Walmart, Home Depot, and Kohl's are all reporting. And they represent sort of different segments of the retail area. So it'll be interesting to see what their results actually are once released and how the market reacts to that. Because, I expect Home Depot, I would think, would be the worst hit of the three. Walmart may actually be doing okay because they've generally been allowed to open and been one of the few places that has been open, but I don't know. And then Kohl's, I'm not sure. I think they already pulled their reporting as far as I recall. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. AAP actually is reporting tomorrow morning, Advanced Auto Parts, and they report early at 6:30 in the morning. And not one I normally follow, but I would think that they would be hard hit with the closures. So maybe worth keeping an eye on them too. That'll be interesting for the morning. For tonight, like you said, just a couple.
Certainly. I don't know if you've been driving by a Home Depot in the last day or two, but I was driving by one on the weekend, and the parking lot was absolutely packed.
Yeah.
So I think it seems to be
It's because nobody has anything to do.
exactly. Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, what are you going to do if you can't go out? You may as well stay home and fix your place up. Yeah. Probably. I think I'm going to say Home Depot. I think probably is going to have some pretty good numbers, but I don't know.
They could. I really don't know. Like, I know I went to a Canadian Tire, which my American friends wouldn't be familiar with, but it's what would you compare a Canadian Tire to? It's like it's got an auto repair shop. It's got home goods. It's got a little bit of everything, right? Like it's. So
it's a little like a Target, but it's more oriented sort of tools.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
like Sears.
Yeah, they've got their own brand of tools. They don't sell clothes.
Sort of like Sears.
Sort of like Sears was. Anyways, but I'd ordered like a barbecue from them, and they do like a pickup. So they're like half the parking lot was reserved for car pickup orders.
Yeah.
So literally, I just drive into a spot. They had these signs posted. You call the number in front of you and say, I'm in spot 12. And I just sat there, and they came out. But I was watching the line. The line went around the building, and these are big warehouse buildings, right? So there had to be like 60 people in line. And the person who stepped in line by the time I got my stuff hadn't got into the store yet, and I was sitting there for half an hour. So, but I didn't have to get out of my car. I just popped the automatic trunk. They loaded the barbecue in. I drove off. I'm like, yeah, that's not bad. I can shop like that.
Yeah, there you go. See, it's the new way of shopping.
Yeah.
You don't even have to get out of your car.
Yeah, I mean, it's a longer process, but
yeah. Well, I guess with some them getting used to the new system, I bet it'll probably speed up. So I looked at PDBC. Yeah, it looks kind of interesting. XLB is another material sector play that has.
Oh my goodness, that's not good at all.
Part of the Select Spider Fund, but that's again a materials play. It looks like it's just about to break out here through 54. So yeah, I think the could be interesting. I mean, it's really going to depend. The thing that's hanging out there now is this. And I'm surprised the market's up so much because of the news about the what is it? The State Department is going to prevent Taiwan Semi from selling chips to Huawei. Man, I can't think of anything that they could do that would annoy the Chinese more than that.
Oh yeah,
that's a fair point.
Them, but that's I mean, Huawei's their, Huawei's their, what do you want to call it? Their flagship, one of their flagship technology
like
companies,
tech companies,
and now, they're one of their, and they've got the phones and that's gonna really, and I was just surprised that we had such a strong day today with that sort of hanging over the market head, but I guess everyone's pretty stoked about the virus, and I agree with you, Peter. I mean, I think we're putting the cart a little before the horse. We go back to the horse thing.
Seems to be a horse
I would
theme
agree.
today. I like what Norm said.
Yeah.
Everybody's high on hopium today, so
yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
I think you're going to get that all week, though. I mean,
yeah. I think so.
you're coming into
who else? There was the UK was talking. What is it? AstraZeneca had something, and then there was somebody else, some other country that had something. Was it Russia? I think had something that they were going to start this summer. But I guess Russia, they just go out and pick a few people off the street and see, here, try this.
Harsh. Wow.
Isn't that the way they do things in Russia?
I have no idea.
See if you get better.
Could be. But I mean, I think you're getting into that area where everybody's looking at the states in the southeast that opened up: Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama. I mean, you're coming up on 21 days since they've kind of opened up this Friday, and sure, there's a slight increase, but nothing dramatic out there. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking at. Because even California over here, they've started opening up stuff a lot quicker than what they were initially saying they were going to. I mean, they were saying, Governor Newsom was saying probably won't have sports venues till the end of the summer. And now it just came out on Benzinga June 1st without fans, but starting to open it up. So
market's really
I think
dropping
that's
here.
where some of it.
Oh, you're right. Hey, look at this.
Wow.
I'm looking at a few things. As far as swings today go, I'm a little bit, the market's up so much. I'm a little bit reluctant to chase things here. I don't want to fight a trend either. So I'm not sort of, I can't really say I'm really crazy one way or another here.
Yeah, that's why I had trouble shorting in the afternoon, even though I had some pretty good setups for shorts. It was just tough to take a short in this market right now with everything pushing higher.
Yeah.
JD's still breaking out though. It's back up to 55, almost 55.60 again.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I noticed it. So it did break the top of that 55.40 range that you were watching and pushed its way up. So just a few seconds to the close now.
I took a picture of that for the playbook. I mean, it was a great setup. No reason I shouldn't have taken that trade.
Right.
Yes. Disney strong into the close. So was
there's the bell.
So was 6.
Okay.
Gold, the miners were really off today. So what have we got a Baidu here, don't we?
Well,
yes,
An
Baidu.
eye on?
but it doesn't report till 4:30.
Oh,
Okay.
Is what I've got. Baidu and IQ report at 4:30. Billy's supposed to report at 7. That's pretty late.
Yeah.
Must be morning or something in China.
7 is that's when the aftermarket closes at 7, doesn't it? Eastern,
Does it?
3 hours after the, yeah.
Okay. Could be. Could
I think so. I
coincide
think that's
with
when the market closes.
could coincide with the trading day in China, perhaps, as well. So
Maybe.
I don't know. So guys, we won't wait around for the earnings. I was mentioning a little earlier, we only had a few things on our watch list. We could flip through those quickly. SRNE was one of the few that was up significantly on positive COVID tests, but it really sold off during the day today. Really didn't put in a good showing. So, but if you were short, I guess you would have enjoyed that. It lost everything it had gained. I think it was up almost 30% pre-market, and look, it closed the day down 4. So that's got to be disappointing. I was looking at the daily.
They had a big day on Friday. I think and then they gapped up, and I think that just a little over exuberance there.
Yeah, well, that's what I was pointing out, Brian. If you look at the daily, that big gap up, and then it gapped up again today. So people thought, all right, it's going to continue, and look, it pulled back below Friday's close. So that's not going to wouldn't make you happy if you were trying to follow that one. mRNA was one of the other big gappers on the list pre-market. It gapped up high. It sold off at the open, and then basically flatlined for most of the day. It wasn't until just before 3 o'clock when it made a drop. But I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to predict that myself. I wasn't watching it, but not really a good signal. It just suddenly sold off a little bit by about $5 and then held a new level into the close. So. On the downside, we had GSX, like I mentioned, that really gapped down on the news that Citron was saying that there was some fraud in the company, caused that big gap down pre-market. But once the markets opened, it popped up and then held a level for around 32.50 for the whole day. Whereas FSCT, Forescout Technologies, it also gapped down significantly on the news that their acquisition had been canceled. But it just it didn't do anything today, so not a good stock. The things that really were moving were some of the secondary moves for today. We talked a lot about ACB today. It had earnings on Friday, but today was actually a pretty good day with some great movement throughout the morning. A little flatter throughout the afternoon, but it still had some play in it. Work was down. I think, like we were saying, there's general euphoria about the markets opening up again, or sorry, everything reopening. So those that were really making a killing off of everything being closed, like Work and Zoom, we're seeing their stock price pulled down today. So I noticed those, and I traded some of the semiconductors. There was news over the weekend about NVIDIA being well positioned, and they were looking for. It was sort of upgraded over the weekend, but it just moved sideways, and most of the semis sort of followed it. So it didn't turn out to be as great of a move as I was hoping in my ever favorite AMD and Mike's favorite MU. I did trade them a couple of times each, I will have to admit, but
the semis have been a little bit weak I was just looking at them on the weekend. If you look at the SMH, which is the ETF for the semis, it hasn't been performing in a stellar manner.
Yeah, they've definitely been a little bit more choppy than normal. Haven't been very good moves.
Yeah. And then the sector that we were certainly watching was the airlines and the cruise lines. So, I'll just take DAL as an example on the airlines. I mean, they were all up like 15% or so today. So that was a little, so American was up 10 at the close, or 9, Delta 14, United up 21%. So some big moves in the airlines. A little surprised me. I guess the expectation is that maybe travel will start to get back to normal. Brian, you'll see if the flight looks and the airport looks different, perhaps when eventually you come back from Toronto than when you went. So you get to see both sides. We'll use you as our barometer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Likewise.
It was funny going into, of course, the picture I sent you was a picture of the international section of the airport. And of course it was, you could have shot a cannon through there and not worried about hitting anyone. So, but the flight was half, 2/3 full maybe. So now, when I came out.
Do you think that was by design, or was that just available? Were they doing social distancing?
That's just
how many tickets.
I think that's
sold?
just a reflect. I think the airlines will pack as many people on the plane as they can. I don't think they're too worried about social distancing.
Right.
They'll give you a mask and gloves and say get on board.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. You just got to have a mask. So Home Depot reported. Did we get Home Depot?
No, I think they report tomorrow morning, don't they?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, it's in the morning.
Yeah, I thought it was.
What did Home Depot actually do today? I didn't follow it.
I'm looking at it here. Not much. They moved sideways for pretty much most of the day. It looks like.
Yeah, but it's right back. It's right back up to its all-time high, or at least its high back in February, middle of February, before we had that sell-off.
Mm-hmm.
Big sell-off.
Which in turn, I think, was all-time highs. So yeah, it's pretty much back.
Yeah, right back around 250.
Yeah,
so it's gonna have to go some to beat the to push higher, but you never know. They report some good numbers.
Yeah. What are you looking at? Oh, thank you for that. The earnings releases. couple of things. So yeah, we'll see what happens. The last industry I was going to mention was the cruise lines. They're all up sort of 15 to 17%. So, I mean, after how much they've been down, that's it's not by any stretch a full recovery, but certainly there was some strength in them. They've got to pull out of this chop range they've all been in for the last few weeks here to really see some significant movement, but still up a bit today. We'll see what happens tomorrow. So with that, guys, I think we're going to call it a night. We are pretty much done. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Maybe I should. Maybe we'll do one thing before we leave. I've got. If you're up for it, Mike, I think I have here. One sec.
Yeah, the announcements.
Our announcements for the day. Let me see if we've got some announcements. I think I have some. Tell people what's going on this week because we got some stuff. Here.
Did Brandon D's podcast get released?
It did, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'll apologize publicly for the sound on it. Brendan, his sound was quiet. I had some levels on my end, I think, that were causing that. So I was like super loud and he was really quiet. So you have to deal with that. So my apologies for fixing that. I did actually a new podcast recorded this weekend. So we'll be releasing that soon. But so stay tuned. We got more every week coming.
Yes. So please subscribe on your favorite bearable trade or podcast system, whatever it may be. It's Talk with Traders, and it should pull it up there. And we had Brandon D that got released, and then we'll have another one coming out shortly this week. That's the podcast. Wednesday, we have our very own Hiltzy, who's in the room. I will be moderating, so it should be good between him and me, a couple retired military personnel, having a conversation before his class on insights from a newly successful trader. And then next week, we have Nada, who's going to come in and she's going to give a kind of an overview on mindfulness and meditation and the impacts that can have on you, not only on trading, but on your life together. I'm really looking forward to that one. That one's going to be interesting. And then the following week before that, I'll be doing mindfulness, module 4. So it's kind of lead into her. So you can kind of see that. And then the first week of June, we'll have Dr. Katz coming in to talk about how to cope with anxiety throughout the markets. That's what we got going on. And then for everybody out there on YouTube, if you'd like to try us out for 1 week, you can go ahead and sign up using the code PREMARKET24. If you do it today, you'll have access to our onboarding class, which will be going this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. Carlos will be giving that, and he'll give an overview of our community. And then if you'd like a discount on the lifetime membership, if you choose to sign up, the code is podcast.
Or, hey, we have our own code.
Oh, we have a new one now.
There you go. Look, you could use that.
There we go.
How exciting.
Closing bell 24.
Yeah.
Even better.
None of that pre-market stuff. That's for the early risers. We're the ones that close the market out. So
We're the closers.
we're the closers, man. That's right.
And the openers.
That's right. Well, yeah, that's true. I guess we're around for that as well. But so I forgot that. I didn't update that. All right. Well, thanks so much for that, Mike. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great time.
Have a good night.
Yeah, everybody
Everyone,
on YouTube.
we'll have a good evening. We'll catch up with you tomorrow, and the Canadian markets will be open too. So there you go.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sounds
All right.